forget ethics. This is anatomy. The moment you articulate a true motive to a rival, a partner, an institution, even to a confidant, you perform a voluntary surgery on your own strategic position. You hand them the scalpel and point to the artery. Your honesty is not a virtue here. It is a hemorrhage of leverage. We begin by annihilating a fairy tale, the belief that transparency builds strategic alliances. It builds targeting parameters. When you reveal why you act, you reveal what you value, where you are vulnerable, and how you can be halted or diverted. You are not building trust. You are publishing your operational manual. In the geometry of power, a declared motive is a fixed point, a singularity around which others can calculate their own orbits to block, exploit, or co-opt your trajectory. Your silence, conversely, is an event horizon. It absorbs energy, their curiosity, their suspicion, and yields nothing. Reframe the entire construct. Your true motive is not a feeling to be shared. It is a sovereign secret, the most classified document of your personal state. It is the single piece of intelligence that, if captured, renders all other assets negotiable. This is not about lying. This is about sovereignty. A state does not announce its strategic reserves, its defensive weaknesses, or its true diplomatic endgames. It projects a calculated front, stability, strength, plausible intention. You are a state of one. Your internal cabinet must remain closed. The you that interfaces with the world is the diplomatic corps, the public-facing ministry. Its statements are crafted, its disclosures are tactical, and its true agenda is buried so deep that even its own emissaries believe the cover story. This is the lens shift. Stop seeking to be understood. Start operating to be unimpeded. The mask is not a disguise. It is the official face of your sovereignty. Anything behind it is none of their kingdom's business. Understand this equation. In any interaction, power flows toward the party whose reality is least defined. The moment you crystallize your intent into words for another, you have given them a weapon with your fingerprint on the handle. This is the principle of reversed information. The value of data inverts once it leaves your custody. What was your internal compass becomes their external map, a map they will use not to navigate for you, but to navigate you. The mechanism operates on two levels. First, the predictive trap. Your revealed motive allows any observer to run simulations. If they know you seek validation, they can dangle approval to extract compliance. If they know you seek profit, they can structure deals that appear generous while funneling the true value to themselves. You have handed them the algorithm to your behavior, and they will code their responses to hijack it. Second, and more profound, is the initiative surrender. Action driven by a hidden motive holds the initiative. It is an unseen vector force. The moment the motive is known, the game shifts to reaction and blockade. They are no longer responding to your actions. They are now counteracting your purpose. You are no longer moving. You are being moved around. This is why confession feels like relief and betrayal feels like shock. The psychological release of sharing your truth is the dopamine of strategic capitulation. You have offloaded the cognitive burden of holding your secret, and in return, you have paid with territorial sovereignty. The other party now possesses a key to your inner gates, and their nature, ambitious, envious, insecure, dictates it will be used. Not today, perhaps, but it will be used. The mechanism is automatic. To know why is to know where to apply pressure. Information does not want to be free. It wants to be weaponized. Your motive is the ultimate piece of information. Guard it not out of paranoia, but out of the cold understanding of irreversible physics. Once released, its nature changes from asset to liability, from shield to designated target. Diagnose yourself. Weakness has a pattern, a predictable signature that leads to self-betrayal. Before you can master opacity, you must excise the part of you that craves exposure. These are not personality types. They are behavioral pathologies that leak your sovereign secrets. Identify which one you are infected by. The first is the naive. He operates under the cargo cult morality of a children's fable. That goodness is reciprocated, that the system rewards transparency. He reveals his motives seeking fair play, believing that by showing his cards, others will do the same. He mistakes the boardroom for a support group. The naive does not understand that his honesty is not met with honor, but with assessment. His revealed motives are cataloged as vulnerabilities. His plans are quietly preempted, and his rewards are siphoned off by those who listened, nodded, and then acted on the intelligence he provided. His archetype is the loyal soldier who files his battle plan with the enemy, expecting a gentleman's duel. He is the first to be neutralized. The second is the braggart. His leak is not moral but emotional, a need for recognition that overrides all strategic sense. He cannot bear for a clever move to go uncredited. He must reveal the genius behind his actions, trading long-term advantage for the short-term high of being seen as the smartest man in the room. His true motive, acclaim, is so desperate that it forces him to sabotage his own position to feed it. The braggart wins a battle and then, in his victory speech, gives a detailed tour of his own fortifications. He invites the very siege he just repelled. His need for identity as a mastermind makes him a permanent amateur. The third is the beggar. This is the most subtle and corrosive. He reveals his motives as a form of covert negotiation, a plea for mercy or alliance. I'm doing this because I need your help. I'm in a weak position. I fear that other threat. He trades a secret for hoped-for sympathy, attempting to manipulate through pity. But pity is not a currency of power. It is the scent of blood in the water. The beggar reveals his motive and thus his desperation, marking himself as prey. He shows his empty hands to the wolves, expecting them to be filled, not torn off. You will see yourself in one of these. Your task is not self-compassion. It is surgical removal. These are not communication styles. They are security failures. Each one is a different route to the same destination, a predictable, controllable, and expendable asset. You imagine this is a choice, a clever tactic you can adopt or discard. You are wrong. Concealment of intent is the bedrock law of sustained existence, written into the code of every surviving organism and the rise of every enduring empire. To believe otherwise is to declare yourself a willing sacrifice to the selective pressures that have shaped reality since the first predator tasted prey. Observe the biology. Does the chameleon announce its intent to blend? Does the anglerfish illuminate its lure with a declaration of its hunger? The predator in the grass does not telegraph its pounce. It becomes part of the landscape until the moment of execution. This is not dishonesty. It is operational necessity. In nature, to reveal true motive, to hunt, to flee, to mate, to claim territory, is to trigger preemptive countermeasures from rivals, prey, and parasites. Your own physiology understands this. Your conscious mind is the last to know your own deepest drives. Your primal instincts, your hidden biases, your subconscious desires, these are kept from you for efficiency and survival. You are already a vault for your own most critical secrets. The social demand for authenticity is an evolutionary trap for the gullible. History is the human scale proof. Read The Prince not as philosophy, but as a field report from the apex of this truth. Cesare Borgia did not send manifestos. He sent charming envoys and then troops. The great statesmen of the Congress of Vienna did not debate their true aims for continental hegemony. They crafted elegant, plausible principles of legitimacy and balance to cloak their maneuvers. The rise of any institution The church, the corporation, the nation-state is a masterclass in the strategic delay of motive revelation. They project an ideal: salvation, innovation, patriotism, while their operational motive, power, market capture, territorial expansion, advances in silence until it is irreversible. This is the deep non-negotiable threat. The human social sphere is not a sanctuary from this law. It is its most intense theater. Every hierarchy, every social climb, every negotiation for resources is the ecosystem where displayed motive becomes a fatal liability. The man who openly craves power is blocked. The man who openly displays greed is punished. The one who succeeds is the one whose true objective remained an unseen gravitational force, while his public purpose served as a benign moon, pulling the tides of opinion in his favor. To believe you are exempt from this law is not idealism. It is a death wish. The mask isn't your affectation. It is the default setting of anything that intends to persist. Implementation is where the weak fail. Knowledge is not power. Applied discipline is. You now understand the necessity of the mask. This chapter provides the protocol for its forging. You will construct a plausible operational motive, a POM. This is not a lie in the emotional sense. It is a tactical front, engineered to be sterile, credible, and strategically useful. Your true motive remains buried. The POM is the decoy asset you allow to be captured. Step 1. Reverse engineering from the audience. Your POM is not for you. It is a tool to manage the perceptions of a specific person or group to achieve a specific end. Diagnose what they value, fear, or expect. Your POM must be built from their material. Are they profit-driven? Frame your motive as a mutually beneficial opportunity. Are they moralistic? Frame it as a principled stand. Are they paranoid? Frame it as a shared defensive maneuver. The POM must align with their reality tunnel so perfectly that it renders further inquiry unnecessary. You are not giving them a reason to believe you. You are giving them a reason to believe their own assumptions. Step 2. The architecture of banality. The most effective POM is often boring, reasonable, and slightly above reproach. It is a motive of duty, of slight personal gain, of accepted convention, of mild curiosity. I'm taking this project to build my portfolio. I'm suggesting this change because the current process seems inefficient. I'm intending to expand my network. These are sterile transaction-level explanations that terminate the line of questioning. They lack the emotional resonance or grand vision that triggers deeper scrutiny. Your speech patterns must match. Use the language of procedure, mild benefit, and general improvement. Avoid the language of passion, destiny, or ultimate ends. Passion is a leak. Banality is a shield. Step 3. The discipline of compartmentalization. This is the internal architecture. Your true motive exists in a sealed vault. Your POM exists in the antechamber. They must never meet. You must speak your POM with a casual conviction of truth, because in that moment, for that interaction, it is the operational truth. The moment you feel the need to confess, to share the real story, for emotional relief, you have suffered a containment breach. This discipline is cognitive warfare against your own weakness. When asked, you do not remember the true motive. You access the POM file. Your tone is flat, consistent, and devoid of the defensive energy that comes from hiding something. You are not hiding. You are operating on a need-to-know basis, and they do not need to know. This is the craft. It is not a single performance, but the maintenance of a permanent, psychologically fortified facade. The opaque front is not what you say. It is what you are in the eyes of the strategic environment. You become a black box. Inputs go in, outputs come out, and the internal processing remains your sovereign secret. Thanks for watching, And if it's helped you, then subscribe and write a comment, your feelings.